Welcome everybody to Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. We have Manpreet Singh here today. Manpreet will be talking about Microsoft Graph, and hope you're enjoying the conference. So I'll hand over to Manpreet now. So take it away, Manpreet.
Thank you, Chirag. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the virtual marathon. It's actually a marathon of learning, 36 hours of learning and different various topics. We have not left anything of Microsoft, I guess, in all this session. All of Microsoft is covered here. So welcome to the session, to the virtual marathon. Myself, Manpreet, and Microsoft MVP. I'm also a C# HANA MVP. You can follow me at Manpreet here. That's a very global name I got for all my social media. Uh, Coming to my slides here. So yes, as we all know, all these sessions have become virtual. We are all going virtually on Teams and other social networks, and we will still try to have the March 23rd to 25th event in Las Vegas. We can have some fun and learning. So let's meet you there. Thank you to all our sponsors. They are very much required for all the gifts and support, and it all goes back to you. It's not anybody else or the people who are organizing it's coming getting through. Welcome to the Microsoft Graph. So again, about myself, I'm a technology specialist at Cognizant. I'm also an MVP in Office servers and services. I'm as a C# corner community. You can find me in all these social media on Manpreet here. Visit the tech platform. It's where we are actually helping out schools and organizations and colleges in setting up teams, and a lot of activities going on and spreading the Microsoft word. Do visit the site and you will know more about it. So agenda of today is the WW of Microsoft Graph. We have been hearing about lots of Graph, but we were not doing much on it. Why? Because it was not available to everyone, and it was only available to the preview people. It was available to the organizations, but not to the common man. But there's a good news, which I'm going to tell you later. So we're going to talk about WW of Microsoft Graph. We're going to talk about the Graph API, the demo, how the demo of Graph Explorer is going to take place. So I'm more of a demo person. I'm not going to speak a lot. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'll show you easy backend steps as a developer, how we can get on with the things, and that would be helpful. You can see that. And then I'm going to take your questions. So I'm going to use the Graph tool connectors like PowerShell and Postman, because we developers, we cannot be happy with a simple API, which where we just have to pass a URL and password and we are connected. We need more coding. We need to have some PowerShell scripting, some scripts in Postman and things like that. So I'm going to show you that, how to do it in an easy way. So let's go forward. So what is www? So what, where, and why? So if somebody asks you, can you use this? And like you'll be gonna ask him, what is this? Where am I gonna apply this? And why should I use it? So there are all the three questions we always have this. And when somebody comes with a requirement, and similar way they will have this issue like, where can I use this? What is this? Why do we need this? Can we use something else? So that question is what we're gonna answer here. So what is Microsoft Graph? So I'm not gonna go to the theoretical knowledge. I'm gonna tell you how is Microsoft Graph. It's the center part of Microsoft now, and it's expanding the day we talk, and it's expanding sooner and later. So as you see the screen, the user, any person like me, and I want to connect to my Outlook, to my OneDrive, to my Notes, to SharePoint, to OneNote, n number of platforms of Microsoft, I can connect through a single search API point. I don't have to go and install the versions of DLLs of Outlook or SharePoint and use that service. I can use them directly on a single endpoint. And not only this internal Microsoft technology, we are talking about external as well. So it's going to be both ways, not only internal but also external people. And these kind of API, these endpoints will help you to achieve your read and write capabilities on various platforms through one engine. You don't have to go back to different ones and download Outlook TLLs or work on SharePoint TLLs or web services. No way. Everything in one platform. That's why Microsoft Graph is gonna be the future. And as I said, there's a good news I'm gonna tell you. Give me a couple of more slides here. So let's see, what is Microsoft Graph? Microsoft Graph is a gateway. We all know it's like an API. Everybody know now. It's like a gateway to data and intelligence. It's like an API which can connect to n number of platforms of Microsoft and external. So it's a reverse way both. There are three components which are mostly important and how it works. First is the API single endpoint. Graph.microsoft.com slash the version slash the product slash the query. Pass everything you want in this endpoint and it will fetch you an amazing response. How? We're gonna see that today. That's the main call of here conference. The second part is connectors. How will you connect them? There are various ways to connect them. Okay. So right now I'm gonna show you Postman and PowerShell. There are Visual Studio coding. You can make a SPFX web path. There are n number of ways you can connect your graph to. Similar way, a data connect. So once you have the data, how are you connecting that to your services? What are you going to do with them? We're going to talk about that. So if you see this, Microsoft API is nothing but an endpoint where this endpoint is going to help you collaborate with different products and different technologies of Microsoft with the same security and compliance level as Microsoft provides in all the various platforms. And the connectors come in the way and they help the services and application to push the data to the cloud. And cloud is nothing but Azure or Microsoft Search or Office 365. You need to use that data somewhere, right? So it helps to push in there. And then you have the data connect. So data connect is that secure and so scalable. You can have n number of data query passing through a single endpoint. You don't have to go back and see if you're missing something and call different APIs or different web services. Just one web service attached to your Teams, your Outlook, to SharePoint, and get the data coming in. Easy, right? It is easy if you trust me. So let's go with it, and I'm going to show you that right there. So this was what? What is Microsoft Graph? Now we're going to see where is Microsoft Graph. As I said, is everywhere now. It's from 365 services to Delve to Excel to Bookings to Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint. I'll get that. Not only that, Microsoft also have launched To-Do in the last build. Like you have To-Do apps on your phone. If not, install To-Do app. It's beautiful. It helps you to have your task list in one screen in your phone. You don't have to go back to your OneNote or you don't have to go back to even your planner. Your To-Do task is not only for your normal official work, you can use it for your personal basis and even to know your marketing and your supermarket, what else you have to buy. You can have a list on that. So it's that kind. And you have a graph API to your to-do list. You can do so many automation using that and like reminders and things like that. And not only them, they are also, as I said, they are also part of our enterprise mobility and security services and Windows 10 as well as Dynamic 365 Business Central. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's gonna be everywhere because Microsoft is cutting down their web services to just one single endpoint. Because right now, those were the days when you need to go to read all the web services for even every task, like to give a permission, create a user, and the user. There'll be web services each and one for different solutions. But now here you have a single endpoint, so you don't have to go where everywhere endpoint. And so this gives you our advantage. And now why? Why do we use Microsoft Graph? As I said, the endpoint is that rich. You don't have to have multiple endpoints for multiple variations. Like you want to, you read it, read a document, read it, write the item, write it. Everything in one single flow. And it has the same HTTP methods, post, get, and so you're gonna use them and get the response much more rich text. So it's not gonna be a single parameter. You're gonna get a lot of data. We're gonna see that also. Deep insights. It's help you to connect everywhere and everything. So if I have something in Outlook, I can see that. I can if I have something in SharePoint, I can see that using one parameter. I don't have to go to a different web services, as I said. Real-time updates, of course, is an API. We'll have a real-time update, so that's sure. And the broad reach, yes, is spreading a lot. So I have been following Microsoft Graph from 1 year now, and I know the last version, which was not available to everyone. It was only in the preview mode, and they were very limited functionalities, very limited API. Now the API has grown like so much, and they have connected almost every Microsoft service along with Azure. So once they are all built up, everything is gonna come through here. The Microsoft Graph is, to be honest, the future. And we all talk about search. Search, the new search, the Bing search is all the Microsoft Graph. Now it's interesting, right? The search thing, which we are so much into, SharePoint, Outlook, Bing, all is part of Microsoft Search. And as I say, people have already started using it because it was already available for the organization level, and now people, a common man, can also have an access to a graph APIs. So 9,500 companies, Fortune 200 million people, 35 million sites. It's growing in another way. It's growing every day we speak, and that's how Microsoft does. It gets you addicted. So let's see what we got here. So now how it is working for our 365 platform or our Azure platform. How? So if you see, this is Microsoft Graph, and this is the center of the body. So now I have a SharePoint site. I have an Office 365 tenant, which we are going to see. I have documents in there. I have conversation on Teams. I have portals there. I have timelines. I have my calendar, my Outlook, my search in one box. Everything in one box, which is Office 365. And now I have built bots on that. I have built Power Apps on that. I have built flows on that, web applications, bot agents, workflow automation. Like I have built everything on my Office 365 platform, right? And they are connecting to each other using what? What do you think they're connecting? They're connecting through API. They're connecting through connectors. They're connecting through flow connectors, Power App connectors, all the various API. So how is Microsoft Graph helping them there? So you have a kind of local data. You have it on your, for example, I have data in my Windows. I want to put it on my Graph or push it to SharePoint, Teams, or something. Or if I have my data in Facebook, if I have my data in Yammer, I have my data in SQL or Google. If I have my data in Google Suite, Google Docs, pass it through Google. So Microsoft Graph is nothing but it helps you to push your data to all your Microsoft widespread and the reverse way. You can get your data from everywhere of all the platforms and get the result in the same way back. So Microsoft Graph is the REST APIs which you are using to connect your Office 365 platform, the data, your experience with the bots, the frameworks, the workflows all together and making it a data connect. So it's like a connector which stands in the center and connects you to not only internal of Microsoft platform but also external. It's a go and take and wave. Okay. So when you go with this platform, you get secured also. Why? Because it is covered by Microsoft security and identity. So it doesn't matter that you have a graph API and you can play around with the data. No, there is so much. You have granular level of permission. You have to give your consent every time you send an API. So I'm going to show you that to you also, how to give a consent and things. So earlier, as I said, this was all open. Like it was so every day Microsoft Graph is growing, and as they're growing, they're getting more stronger, more scalar, and the security is like amazing. Because it's using the own Microsoft core identity security. It doesn't have to go out and search for a new platform for AD or something like that. And as I said, this is in my graph sheet, what you see here on my screen is for the SharePoint, right? You can also have external connectors, a number of external connectors connect to your graph and push your data to your search from Microsoft or your graph from Microsoft or your Office 365 from Microsoft. In a way, any data, external or internal, can be spread all around the Microsoft technologies and vice versa, and then in the reverse way through Microsoft Graph with all the security and parameters. Excited? Right. So right now, this is a basic list. It's a famous list, I should say. I am going to show you the real list. That's much more better and more bigger. So we have API gateways for Azure, Excel, Intune, Outlook, OneDrive, OneNote, SharePoint Planner, and the To-Do, which they just introduced last week. These are the famous one. That's why they're up on the board. But there are more. There are many more, and they're coming every single day. Languages and platforms. So if I'm a .NET developer or a C# developer, I can totally build in the app in my .NET code or in Android, iOS, Java, JavaScript, Node.js, PHP, Ruby, UWP, Xamarin. Like, you don't have a way that you can say that I cannot use Microsoft Graph because I don't code structure of it. I don't know the platform or the language is available in every single platform. And it gives you code snippets, and you can use that on your various application, your console applications, your .NET application, and just pass through the same thing. How? Again, that's the surprise. So, first of all, the good news I want to say is the Graph Explorer is now GA. So GA for them is generally available. For me, it's globally available. Like, everyone can have their own Graph Explorer. So earlier, only people who are in preview programs or they are in organizations had access to play around and to learn. But now it's not the cause. That's why I want every one of you to open a dev account with Office 365. You're gonna get an E5 license for 90 days, which if you are working well and you're using it, it keeps on getting extended for a year. Open that, log in with that with your Graph Explorer, and you will be able to see. As I said, I'm a guy of demo. I'm going to show you demo of Graph Explorer. So with soldiers of minions, let's go there. So if you Google Microsoft Graph Explorer, it's gonna come up. You have to come in here, sign in. If you see, I have signed in with my Office 365 account, and once you sign in, you will be able to see all this. So as I was saying, we were talking about like the number of APIs we have, right? There is a big count here. You can batching, Excel extensions, groups, Teams, notifications, OneDrive, OneNote, calendar, mail, book, security, SharePoint, not stopping, and it's growing. The things which you see in beta is like they are being on the preview mode and they're being tested. You can also use it for your testing purposes, and they're gonna roll out once the this product is stable or the API is stable. It's gonna come up on a normal way. So if you see Teams has a normal Teams, all the Teams feature, all my APIs are here. I can do get, I can post, similar way. All these are in beta, which you're gonna get. Like, I can reply on a message using API. Did you ever thought of? No, right? Never. See who is online, who was available the last day in this channel, or the presence of the user, his activity, his or her activity, the items in my Google like team channels or the SharePoint. We never had thought. We always use web services for very minimal activities. Like, for example, we need to check something or we need to apply mostly with the JavaScript functionality we used to do. But now with the graphic, whatever thinking we thought, like in a developer era, like when you see, I'm gonna wish this was automated. I could have used Power Apps with this going passing through Teams and SharePoint. All are available. All are here. So as you see, I have logged in here. This is my account. That's my personal account. As I said, go to your work or school organization. You'll be able to see Graph Explorer here. There's a lot of references, a lot of learnings in here. Just click on them. They will give you guide to guide learning along with me now here today. So okay, let's come here. So as I see, I logged in. And I'm passing a graphic page. I'm gonna just see how my profile looks. So I'm gonna click on get. So if you see, it has the versions, beta 1.0 and beta. I'm gonna use 1.0 because this is already not in beta, it's already released, and I'm gonna run the query. Once I run the query, you see I get a success message. And if you see the data, this was what I passed. This was my graph API. What did I pass? The version, the user level, the entity. I got all my data, including my phone number. Amazing. My display name, my given name. So you saw, with one API I'm passing, I'm getting so many responses. It's not, that's what it said. It has a detailed response system. You don't have to have one system or one API for one service. I don't need a service for getting just a job title. I can call, I can get n number of data from there. So I just called my Outlook, my profile, and I have all my data from there. And not only that, so it has a response header. You see, it's telling you what was the client's request ID, what was the length, the type, and the request ID. These are all unique levels, so you can also use them while you are using a console application or a .NET application. Adaptive cards. Who give you adaptive cards inbuilt? Like I can just copy this in the code snippet and just paste it wherever I want it. I can use it on my teams. I can use the same functionality everywhere. It gives you adaptive card and show you how it's gonna look in the backend. And the best part, it gives you code snippet. So I have to write a code. I don't have to figure out what I have to write. I test. I come to my Graph Explorer. I do a test. I want to see. I want to get something about. It's like my project requirement. I know want to know about myself. I come here. I do a code snippet. I can get a code in C Sharp. I can get in JavaScript. I can get in Java, Object C. Every single detail is here. I just have to copy paste and put it on my application. It's gonna start working. Why? Because my account already have graph access, which I'm passing through my graph API, and I'm gonna get all the results which I'm hitting towards the API. Now, so there is a request header. I can choose what other values I require. So if you want somebody in your organization, I'm an admin, I don't want so many parameters to pass, you can always put on your parameters, your values, what you want to pass. And here, what I was talking about, modify the permissions. So right now, I have given my account access to read my user read level to this API. It can go in and see, but I can always consult. Like if you see, I have to, if I am giving them a write option, yes, why not? I can go and click on consent. It's gonna open up my Office 365 account, and I just have to click on consent and accept this, and now my API, I will be able to write data on my profile directly. How secure the granular permission was. You saw it, right? So in this way, if I refresh this, let me refresh it. So the data is coming up, like I have my control who and when I should give a read access or a contribute access to people, and they will be able to see it. So if I come to modify permission, see, I gave a consent to read and write, and the user, whoever is using this API, which is me, my account, has a read write access. See, and if you want to decline anyway, click on it, decline it, remove the access. It's all in your control and in the administration of your account control. So if you're a tenant owner, you can know which API to pass through, allow, and things like that. And it gives you an access token to pass. Here is an access token. You can use it, this thing in your Postman. You can use this on your console application, or you can use it on your Azure frameworks. So it gives you an access token. You can just copy this and ready to use. Okay. So what did you see here was the basic profile. Okay. So let me come to some of the applications. Like I have my Teams account on this. So let me see what are the teams I have joined. So if I click on here, I see I am part of two teams. It's on my new account. So I'm part of a team called the Tech Platform. I'm part of something called School. Uh, I have two teams. I have two teams here. It gives you an option of who are the members of a team, what are the channels in the team, what are the info. Similar way, I'll have a code snippet here to where join team is equal graph client, and I'm getting me dot join teams wherever I am is gonna get and get the data out. Similar way in JavaScript. If you see, I am just passing a single graphic, and this is my API. What did I pass? My endpoint, then my version of the graph explorer, and the me is about the user who is like me right now, and it's the join team. So it can always put variables in between, like I want to know where is Mr. This is XXX having access to the team. It will tell you what are the teams he has access to, who, where, and all he's a member to. And not only that, I can also create channels from Graph API. If you see, if I go to a post channel, I can create a channel. I don't have to go there. I can say if I pass the team's ID here, which I created in the LIN, I can just pass my team's ID and it will create a channel there. Similar way, I can send a message to a channel. I can have get apps channel is using all the tabs the channel is using. Similar way, as I said, this is Teams. We are all in Teams. Like we are crazy about Teams. Everyone, you can have access to OneDrive, OneNote, and I want to go back to my SharePoint. you can get your SharePoint details here. So if I run this query, it will fetch me what are my SharePoint sites under my tenant. I just have one site, so it's showing me one site, the name of the site, communication, when was it created, the description, the ID, and the GUID. Everything I get in my Graph API. I'm not gonna use it on n number of web services to get all my data. It can get me all the documents library I have on my list. It can get me all the SharePoint sites to search. See, it gives me all the libraries I have. I had just one library called document library. It was created with system account, so it's a by default one, and the created date and time, everything I get it. Similar way, I can get the list, the content types, the site columns. I can search the SharePoint for keywords. So where are we going to use that? For search engine. So if I'm making a custom search engine and I want to search something in SharePoint, I can have a custom search bar anywhere, Outlook in Teams and Outlook. And when I pass it, it's going to search that keyword in all my SharePoint sites. Isn't it great? That's what Graph API is so powerful. It's giving you one endpoint and giving you solutions and things for everyone. Now, how it is working? Okay, let's see that here on the slide here with the minions again. So as I said, Graph API, I'm passing a parameter. I'm passing the endpoint. So if you see, I'm passing this version, HTTP method. So what are the HTTP method I can use here? So let me show that to you. I can use a get to read data from a resource. I can use post to create a new resource or perform an action. I can use patch to update a resource with new values. I can put or replace a resource with a new one, and I can use delete. So I can use the following HTTP methods when I am calling Graph API. So right now when I'm calling my Graph API, the things I'm passing is the version. The graph.microsoft.com is my endpoint. I'm passing is the version here, which is the Graph API version. I can even pass the beta. I'm not using beta. I'm using something which is already completed. I'm using 1.0. Choose a resource. Where is that resource you are calling from that you're referencing? Put in here, and then if you want to query them, any number of queries, do that. Like for example, in my query here, let me go back to my Graph Explorer. Okay, where I lose it? Yeah. So if I go back to my Graph Explorer, I see this. This is my query. This is my version. Where am I? This is my resource, the sites, and then I'm getting the root. I want the root and the drives of it. When I'm looking for myself here, let me go back here. Let me go back to team, for example. If I'm getting my join team, did I click on it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I made it here. Okay. So yeah. So when I'm joining my teams here, I can see my version code here, 1.0. Who am I referencing to? That's me. I can put a username. I can put the directory. I can put a DL, and then this is what I'm passing a query. It is join teams. Or I want people to know who are the members of the team. I want to know what are the channels in this team. Just have to pass that, and it's gonna come up here. Let me come back to my slide. So this version, this resource, and this query parameters request the Graph API to fetch the result. And the response you saw is so vivid, it's so deep, you get every single response when you're connecting. You get a status code, whether it's approved or rejected or things like that. You get a response message that the data, this is the response message, and our response message is response message. It's so in depth, every single detail of my team is with me. I know everything about it. It's an internal ID, group setting, member setting. If it's a private, public, every single detail I get it from him, right? So that's the response we are looking here. And it's so depth in knowledge. I don't have to go back. Sorry. So I don't have to go back and get more services to get my single second results off of my team or teams or Graph API or Outlook and things like that. And then something got came new. It's called Next Link. So Next Link is like right now there's nobody, not much data in my own personal tenant. But if you're an organization and there's tons of data and there are thousands of people, like millions of people, the Graph API you can use OData.nextlink as a paging system. You can do paging and get data from one to another. So the paging will help you in getting and fetching all the results in the longest. Uh, this was actually method which I just saw. So that was Graph Explorer. I want every one of you go in there, play around. It's so beautiful. Just go on. Nothing. It doesn't matter if you are in which tenant or something. Just create a tenant, and it's now globally available for everyone from last week. And just go around, play with it. You're gonna not destroy anything. You're gonna write something because it's gonna be your personal dev tenant. So, and you can remove the code and see what happens if I remove a console or what happens. It's so easy. You can just start to discover graph because graph is the future, and search, when we all are working, search is gonna be a full-on system built on graph, and it's gonna be the future. There is the future of search. So let me come back. So this is the way we did from Graph Explorer. I got my APIs, I got everything, but now it's like so simple, like everything on up there on a UI. Really, like what do a developer do? Come on, developer didn't understand what is an API, what's the version, what are the headers, what are the responses, what are the previews, what are adaptive class, JavaScript, Java. But still, me as one of the bad person who wants to code and see the in-depth knowledge of how the application is working, I will go out and bring something of my favorite. I don't know about you all, but for me, PowerShell is everything. So right now, when we were used to SharePoint on my server, it was all PowerShell. We used to have so many PowerShell query runnings and timer jobs and event handlers, receiver, like so many things. And we used to have scheduled tasks and jobs for running for them. Now we have webhooks. In our last session, we were seeing the same. Our last speaker was running webhooks to run your command, your exe files, your PowerShell. So those were days when you require a virtual machine and run a PowerShell or schedule a PowerShell through task schedulers and things like that. Now you have webhooks. They will run the similar way. Just put up your exe file there. Webhook is going to run on a daily or a monthly or a weekly or every 15 minutes. So PowerShell gives you more control, right? Similar way, I'm going to talk you PowerShell. And as I said, I'm more of a person with demos. It's all about demo. So what I want to tell you is, and if anybody of you are, when you're seeing the video or you're right now here and you want to try, just try in on, and this deck is going to be shared with everyone and things like that. So I have a cheat sheet here, how to install the commands and things like that. So I'm going to open my PowerShell here. Let me open it. So I have just launched my Windows PowerShell. Let me expand it. Maybe let's make it smaller. It's visible here. Yeah. So that's my PowerShell. I have opened my PowerShell. Just go in here and install Microsoft Graph. So let me come here. I'm just opening it from my end. If you saw my command, I can install a Microsoft Graph. If you want some specific version of Microsoft Graph, just go in here, -required version. Yeah, required version. Yeah, and then you can give whatever required version you want. I already have it with me. Not do it because it takes like 5 to 10 minutes, and I don't have much time with you guys. So install this code. It's a simple one. Install module name Microsoft Graph. Once you install, you to check whether the code went fully. Let's do one. SQL get installed modules. It's gonna tell me all the modules installed in my graph. So when I run it here, give it a minute, not even a minute, just some seconds. So it's gonna fetch in all the requests data. Till then, I'm gonna check the teams if there's somebody posted something. Can go here. Here you go. So what we did here, all the graph parameters which I install up here. So my graph analytics, my bookings, my groups, my identity, security, domain, which is more like Outlook. I have my Outlook, I have my planner here, I have all my SharePoints, Teams, user profiles, everything. So whatever we saw in the Graph Explorer, I got it here. Nice, right? So it gives you more knowledge. Like for what we use in console applications or visual.NET application, you have to install these, add those DLLs and start working on, like if I want to do something on Outlook, I'll add an Outlook DLL. If I want to do something SharePoint, SharePoint DLL, things like that. This is a one-time just Microsoft Graph and you are ready to install. Now, so now your system is ready, not your account is ready. So we're gonna connect your account. So right now, like let me go back here. If I run this command, sorry, I did something wrong here. Okay, so if I'm running my command here to connect my graph, so using my credentials, let me pasted everything here and the same on the cheat sheet for every one of you to play around. So if you see my message, it says, welcome to Microsoft Graph. I'm connected. For people who were doing the first time, right? So let me go back here to my current slide. So people, when you put graph scopes dot connect, when you're trying to connect, it's gonna open your Outlook account or your SharePoint account. It's gonna ask you to validate. Can you Microsoft Graph PowerShell is allowed. Once you consent, it's gonna say you welcome to Microsoft Graph. For me, I've already done this. So my ID support at the rate of techplatform.onmicrosoft.com already has access to the PowerShell. So it gives me this access that, okay, this person is already there, completed, and then you click on OK, and you will see that message which I saw on welcome to Microsoft Graph. Nice, right? So now I am connected to my graph. Now what I can do a lot. Let me show you some example. So for starter, let me get first 10 users in my tenant. So I'm gonna run get 10 users, select the ID, display name, principal name, and user time. I'm gonna run this. I have just 6-7 people here. If you see, I get the principal name, the type of user they are, the IDs. No, I'm not gonna get so rich so early. Okay, what are the current licenses I have in my tenant? So if you see, I don't have to go anywhere else. I can get all the details. I don't have to go to Teams. I don't have to go to portal.admin.com to go inside, check, and things like that. Basic PowerShell scripting. I can see what are the licenses I have on this account on my profile. If you want to check a license of a user, just pass this graph API and you'll be able to see it. Similar way, what are the commands? Like now we know what are the commands of getting licenses and things. What are commands of getting Outlook? So I'm gonna run this. I have n number of commands using graph. I can create a user, I can get a user, I can create a calendar event, I can update a calendar event. CTLS is upgoing and everything now and then is gonna keep on adding and things like that. But I feel everything's up there. Now we all talk about teams. How can I miss command for Microsoft Teams? Let's do that. It's running. It's running and it's running. So I can get the teams. We were seeing who were the people in the team. We just saw in the graphics for. You can do the same thing here. You can get the team people and things like that. You can invoke access. You can remove access. Create a new team. Create a new channel. Update things. All using PowerShell. You don't have to go out. It's really fantastic. Same thing will go with SharePoint. Like right now, if I have to update something, I have to write a small console application, call Office 365 app, get the deal. I don't have to do that. I'm gonna get directly from a Graph API. And if I want to go to that list, manage something, I'm gonna get it. So okay, let's do that. Let's do one testing. So this is my site. Okay, I ran a script like get my sites, all my sites in my root. I have just one site called communication site. Okay, so let's get something communication. So I'm gonna check what's the URL of the site. Do I have the URL? So I'm gonna pass it command to get a display name and description and the web URL. So now our description, I got the name of the site. It's called communication site, and the web URL is techplatform.com. I got it. Right. So now when I have this, why not get the ID of the site and store it, and then I can use it for various purposes. So let's do that. So I'm getting object ID, I'm storing it. So my object ID is stored of this site. I'm gonna get the number of site pages on the site. I don't think it should be having a default one, but let's see. Why not try it? So, okay, let's see. Here I go. So I have one home page. I get this ID. I was able to get it. What else I can get it from my ID, which is already rendering on my object? Let's get some list here. Okay, I have this list. I have a document library. I have an event. I have something called a SharePoint home organization links. A by default home link. Similar way, I can get them document libraries, all the libraries I have. So I have now I have to, if I have to go inside those lists or that document library and have to create a new item or delete an item or update an item, I can totally go in and do it. Simple, right? I am able to get everything. I can get the GUID of my list library. Now I can just do a parameter. I can inside SharePoint, create an item, update a document file, update a lot of file through OneDrive to SharePoint, all your migration and things like that. Easy connect with Microsoft Graph. Like it, nice. And the worst thing, I can get the charts of all the people happen to have this. So I'm running here. So if I see, I get my chat IDs when they were created and when they were updated. And to be honest, you can actually get the chat message also, what was said and when it was said. So it gives you more control, more and more control like that, but it doesn't affect your security. This is for admin people. You don't need to know what happened, what was like before. Here you can see the topic was testing and live event. If somebody wants, you want to see the messages for future references, you want to store them somewhere, and you can get it from your team and push it on a SharePoint page or a SharePoint list or a document library. What nobody has to go and copy all the chat messages and paste it somewhere as a reference. Everything. So for example, there's a team and now you want to demolish that team, don't want it any longer, you're going to delete it. Why don't just save all the files, all the chats, all the messages into another platform or in an archive mode? Everything can be done by Graph API. And on a user level, on a user basis, nobody's gonna come to know like there's something going passing on. Like you as an admin, you have a Graph Explorer, you're working on your backend. On the UI on a team, it's super simple. You don't have to go through applications for migration activities and things like that. Everything can be taken by Graph. Liked it? Why? Of course you will like it. It's PowerShell. Who doesn't like PowerShell? It's that much. So as we saw, Graph Explorer was a web interface of getting all the Microsoft Graph API. It was like giving you in JSON format and things like that. Everything on your command. And if you want to do some testing, if you want to play around, get those API, just copy those references, copy the responses, copy the syntax. You can use Graph Explorer. But if you still somehow you want to see the code, like you see PowerShell, the code running, I feel happy. I don't know about you guys, but if you see something running on a PowerShell scripting, it gives you that happiness that things are running in there, and you will be seeing the console running and fetching your result, and you can see all the parameters here. These all parameters, you cannot see them on the Graph Explorer. It has a limited because again it's on a web, and so many if you put them there, it's gonna be too much crowded in there, right? So they have the basic, they give you an option, but when you go to in here PowerShell, you get so many options to do, like install in app or all the themes installed app, all the operations, the channel number, channel message, the message hosted content. Like so depth knowledge you're getting through your graph. Nice, right? So this was another way from Teams Graph Explorer to PowerShell. There's another way. There are actually a lot of ways, but I'm gonna just go one more way because I just have 15 more minutes. So the next one is Postman. Everybody, Postman is the king of API. We call Postman everywhere. What is Postman? So let me go back to my deck here. Right. So the Postman. So Postman is nothing but a platform where you see to use for API development, and you are gonna use. So right now, what you see is the Graph Explorer of Microsoft technologies. Can I see my Graph Explorer or APIs of Google? No. Can I see of Facebook? No. Can I see of my in-house inbuilt servers or web applications? No. So to see all those things, you need to create those APIs. And like other platforms, right? Google, Facebook, they already have created APIs. You can just go there to the API reference page and you will see all the various apps. Just copy them and even connected through Postman or through PowerShell, through ways of connecting and get the data, fetch the data, and push it through. Similar way, when you are using Postman gives you a single platform to do both activities and similar. So I'm going to show you how we connecting the same Graph Explorer in Postman in super simple steps. And let me go back. Yep. The soldiers are back here, the minion soldiers, and it's gonna be demo. Again, I have a cheat code for this also. Why is it cheat sheet? Okay, I'll like show you that. So I always started using a cheat sheet because much more using because you have a very small time slot, you cannot do everything and everywhere together. So this is the Postman, and I was just doing a test before coming here. So these are the APIs I have. I've created on an API, I've deleted everything. So when you go to Postman, just install Postman. It's free of course. This is on my machine. It's like an app here. Just install Postman. It's a simple free app. You don't have to buy or license something. To use Graph, right? In Visual Studio, you will use DLLs to import and things like that, right? Similar way, we have to come here and import. So what are you importing here? Importing here is this. You are importing the cheat sheet data. So this is like a Postman collection of JSON and the environment of JSON. So run the first one and then run the second one. Once you run it, it's gonna load all the libraries of JSON of Postman and get you connected up here. Yeah. So if you see here on the left, as soon as you import everything, you will see this option as Microsoft Graph. So I have 137 total various of miscellaneous applications, all these mail, SharePoint, subscription, Teams, user. If I go in there, all the user joining, I can get a number of results, and using mine, if you see on behalf of user, I have so much access. So whatever we saw in Graph Explorer, then we saw in detail in PowerShell, and now this is all in here in your Postman. So when you're connecting your external APIs or internal APIs, just use one platform. You don't have to go from here to there and things like that. Use Postman. It's a beautiful app and it's free of course for all developers, and go and use it. So what I'm going to use it is like so when you import everything, it creates an environment. If you see this deck here, let me go back here. So I'm actually importing a Postman environment of JSON file. So I'm already setting up an environment. I don't have to create a new environment, which you can create and you can get your DLY two ways for when everything is coming in. So I'm getting the environment. So if you see on the right side, this is Microsoft environment. I can choose no, I can have my own. So when you choose an environment, this is my edit screen. So if I click on edit, so you have to pass three major parameters. One is your client ID, your client secret, and your tenant ID. Now you'll ask me, where do I get these things? Like, that's a very good question. Like, let's do it. So you need your Azure client ID, client secret, tenant ID. How will you get it? Let's go here. So if I am here, this is my Azure account. So I have to create an app. So I create an app. It's super simple. Just go to app registrations and click on new registration. Just pass on which tenant, like I have my tenant with the same Azure account, so it gives me option here. If you want to use it for multiple tenants, use multi-tenant. If you want it for organization directory, you can choose that option. For me, it's just a tech platform I want to use, and you can pass the redirect UI. If you have nothing, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. So when I come back here, I like my where did I lose it? Okay, let me go ahead. Okay, so I already have created one just an hour ago, and this is my Graph API. So I just created this. So if you see, I get my client ID here, I get my tenant ID here of my portal.office.com, the Office 365 account. I get both in here. I can use them. I can copy them on my tenant here, and once you copy, you can update it. Now, when you create an application like an app registration, you have to come back to authentication certificate and API permissions. What are we gonna see there? I'm gonna show you the same one. So let me go back to
Manpreet, sorry to interrupt. You have about a minute or two. We need to start to wrap up the session, please.
Perfect. I'm on it. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. I don't have time, so I'm going to show you. Come in here, have a client secret. Just come into certificate and secret, create a client secret. You can use this value. Once you get all the three values, put up there and update this. So when you update, you have to pass a parameter of a post reaction and to get the access. So right now, if you see my screen, once I'm able to connect to the environment here, my client ID, my client secret, my client ID. Once you connect to them, it will provide you an access token. This access token is going to help you to fetch the results. So similar way, when I am in here, I am passing a get. So I copied this API from my Graph Explorer. I'm just clicking on send, I'm sending request. If you see my screen, okay, I lost it. So because I was just, so if you see the screen, it was showing you all the results of all the teams I have, all the channels I have access to. So no way, let me show that to you. No, I have disconnected it. So when you come in here, you create a new client secret, you will be able to fetch the similar results from your postman as you're getting. So this will get you connected with all the applications here, your file, your group, and it gives you all the details. You just have to pass your similar way key, a value. If you have a header, pass your header, like postman graph value. If you have a body, pass your body. And so you will be able to get all the results in postman. And now when you have your results in postman, it's more easy to pass this parameter from one platform to another platform, from one API to another API. It gives you that free hand. As I said, Microsoft Graph gives you all both left and the right way of getting results. So, and here you were getting results on both. So if I see my history, I was running, let me see, okay. I think I broke the connection. So if you go in here, create a client ID, create Explorer, you will be able to see the same functionality. And once you have the access token, it's gonna work the same. So this was all about the Graph Explorer, and we come back here. Running any session soon. So everybody, you have a raffle to get an Oculus. Please visit the vendor booth and submit your answers here. Use this URL to get a raffle. You delivered your product, and then please consider some donation. Everybody's working hard during these times. We IT people have jobs because we can work virtually, but there are people who are not. Please open up and do some donations. Go fund me charity here, and please feel free to give your feedback to the event. If there's something we missed this year, we try to come up with that and